Hello and welcome to Guernsey Arts Sunday. I'm Nick Mann, the editor of the Quarry, an independent news outlet. We're bringing a very special edition of our podcast, Dig This, and I'd like to thank Rebecca Booth from Guernsey Arts for joining me on stage.
Thank you, Nick. Very pleased to be here.
Now, you've only just started in your role. I just would like, could you tell us a little bit about your journey to get to this stage?
Sure. So I've been volunteering in the arts in Guernsey for the last 20 years. Such a vibrant community of so many different art forms that it's really easy to get involved if you're interested in any form of art. So over the last 20 years, I've been the chairperson and member of Cine Guernsey, which was an independent cinema group that showed different films from around the world, and also brought over producers, directors, and we put on outdoor cinema in Candy Gardens, and we won awards with the British Film Institute for our programming and marketing. So that was a really interesting group to be part of. And then I've also was part of the Guernsey Literary Festival and involved in the founding of that, which was actually formed and supported by Guernsey Arts many years ago. So I was programming and events coordinator and also sponsorship director. So it's great how the Literary Festival has really grown to what it is now, but I was there at the very beginning. I've also supported John Christophe with the International Photography Festival. We together projected photography onto the buildings around St. Peter Port. And so, as you can see, I'm just really interested in supporting how vibrant Guernsey can be in the arts scene.
Now, you've been involved in Guernsey Arts for a while as well. What have you seen from the inside in that time as well?
Well, it's a really well-run organisation. So I've been involved with what is Guernsey Arts Commission with its brand Guernsey Arts for since 2018. So I joined as a volunteer when there was an advertisement for someone to join the grants committee. So part of the Guernsey Arts role is to run a pool of money which is provided by the States of Guernsey to projects across the island and all the different arts forms. So I joined the committee that assesses every project to see whether it's going to be able to receive some of this government funding. So we've supported lots of different projects over those many years. And then last year I was asked to join the board as a non-executive director, as their governance director. I've got a background in governance, so that was a natural fit. So I joined the board. And so when Russ said that he was going to retire, I started to think, actually, all the things I've done over the last 20 years, they seem to lend themselves towards being able to work in Russ's role as CEO of Guernsey Arts. So I put my name forward.
And we're down here, we're talking Arts Sunday, Guernsey Arts Sunday, a fantastic event. And you only just have to look around, I guess, to see how vibrant, but also how diverse the arts scene is. Can you just give us a bit of a flavour of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have from dance to theatre to photography to artists to comics. You really do get everything in the art scene in Guernsey. Later on, we've got some of the Indian folk dancers that will be coming along and showing their amazing, colourful display of dance. We've also We've done a really good combination of working with the Maison de Normandie, and we've got Norman musicians coming along as well. I heard the boat and I can see it in the harbour. They have arrived, so they're just being picked up and walked along with all their instruments. So we've got a samba band from Normandy, we've got a traditional band, and we've got a French jazz rock punk band coming. But then actually the music scene in Guernsey is fantastic. We've had the Vale Earth Fair. It's coming up for its 50th year this year, which is amazing. We've had Chaos. We've had all the other music festivals that take place. We've got an amazingly supported music scene. And Guernsey Arts runs the Channel Island Touring Fund, which supports our local musicians with Jersey. So Jersey Arts is also involved to travel between the islands so that the bands have an opportunity to get a new audience together. So the scene in Guernsey is so vibrant.
And you touched on this a little bit earlier, but one of the key roles of Guernsey Arts is the funding. So what kind of funding is available for people that have an idea, have a project, want to take something forward?
Great. So we have a rigorous criteria that we stick to, because obviously this is government money and we need to make sure it goes to the right projects. We've got an application form that is submitted every 2 months, and the committee meets every 2 months. And what we're looking for in the application is something that's really adds value to the community, but also adds value to those people taking part as well. So it might be something like, Fête de la Mer, for example, that's starting and launching today as our maritime festival, and Guernsey Arts is supporting them, obviously, with taking part on the Crown Pier, but also the support as well as how to set up a festival, as well as the grant funding. So the grant funding committee has the various criteria, like I say, and we've supported theatre, arts projects, festivals, but also the film industry here. And the film industry is something that's really built up over the many years. And we started to see the fact that there were so many different applications coming to us for film. It's like, hold on a minute, you've almost got enough to start an organisation. So the Institute for Screen Arts Guernsey was set up with Guernsey Arts backing to bring all of the filmmakers together. And we're really hoping that will build itself out to be able to support all the filmmakers that are here.
I mean, I guess the film industry is a fabulous example of something that can grow, but something that's also important for the economy. And there's lots of linked areas. Can you just talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, well, if you look at the many studies that they've done in the UK, it's 19.1 billion of gross added value that the creative industries brings to the UK economy. So if film can really be part of Guernsey's offering to creatives either coming here or building that industry here itself, the fact that we have that figure from the UK, it's bound to, for Guernsey, support the economic development. And actually that doesn't go just for film, it actually goes for all creative industries, because we have such a vibrancy, and that obviously I've touched on already. The fact that we can help people as Guernsey Arts move from amateur to professional is going to really support the economy in Guernsey as well.
I think you could maybe take St James as a bit of an example of this, as an organisation that's bringing people on, adding value to the economy. They've struggled at times for their grant funding. Do you think there's a real commitment and support politically for the arts and an understanding of what it does?
There is. We do feel that we have this government that we have, and the deputies do understand the value of the arts and the impact it can have on the economy, the vibrancy, the well-being. We haven't touched on that yet, but the fact that it really does support well-being as well. So they do really understand. What we have is budgetary constraints. And it's the budgetary constraints that you start to see in a few different areas, not just the arts. But what we have is a private sector and the foundations who are sort of plugging that gap where the government can't quite step in.
And I guess that's another key role of your organisation is almost linking together the private sector, the artists, the government, and the funding. How does that work? Is that successful?
So just so you're aware, the Guernsey Arts is not totally funded by the government. Just under a third comes from the states of Guernsey, and the rest we have to go out for private funding as well. So we're in the same situation. So our experience of how we have to try and fund ourselves, we can talk to others about that as well. So we're there to support everybody. We're really the umbrella organisation who's there to support support all other arts charities, whatever form they are, across the island.
I've got one more question on funding, and then we can move on to the sort of more cultural and well-being side. But we see in Jersey there's a commitment of, I think it's 1% of their revenue budget, and I'm not quite sure how much that is, but I suspect it's significantly more than we see here. Is that a case that you feel should be made in Guernsey as well?
Yes. Absolutely. It would be fantastic if we could see more money coming towards the arts, because it's so intertwined in society that the benefit would be vast. What we're planning to do is to speak to Jersey more closely on how they've done this. I've got lots of things that are in my strategy. I've only been here for sort of 6 weeks, so leave it with me. But that's absolutely something we'll be looking at.
And you touched on this a bit before, but it's obviously arts is about culture and also about well-being. And there's some good examples that you can give us about that bigger picture.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's happening already is the creative health is part of the hospital already. So there's a little trolley that goes around and it supports people who are in hospital. But actually what we have at Guernsey Arts as well is that outreach program. So there's an awful lot of charities like Guernsey Mind, for example, who support people outside of the hospital and the health service itself. And so Guernsey Mind, social prescribing, we've worked closely with them to bring them along to some of the galleries, to give workshops, and to bring creativity into their lives. Creativity, there's been studies by Daisy Fancourt, who has been speaking to some people in Guernsey as well, so we're hoping that she'll be able to work with us. She came over for the literary festival on the actual importance of creativity and well-being, and she's got some amazing figures which really support how people can really benefit from creativity.
Now, we're surrounded by people that love the arts, are involved in the arts. What's the one thing that they could maybe do to help build the scene as well? Or what should they take away from today?
Get involved. Even if, just pick up a paintbrush, start singing, join a community group. It's all about your own self and how you can actually take benefit from the creativity. There's so many stalls here. We've got about 120 stalls at Guernsey Arts Sunday, and a lot of them are interactive. A lot of them you can talk to about how you can find out about how you can get involved. So it's really a case of just enjoying the day and seeing what you discover.
And looking to the future now, I know you're only new to the role. I think the announcement was made in March. Do you have like a six month, a yearly, a 5 year? Where do you want to see Guernsey Arts go?
So we've got a strategy which covers 6 key areas already. I've chosen 2 for my first 6 months. The first one is creative industries, and we've already touched on that. So what I'm planning to do is to support amateur to professional in the creative industry space. So watch the website and socials for the details on that. There will be more information coming out. And then the other side is that cultural diplomacy and how we can look outwards to what's happening in other locations and bring that through to Guernsey as well. And then from Guernsey outwards, and it's really that cross cultural awareness and inspiration that's really important. And those are the 2 areas I'm looking at the moment.
And I guess particularly timely with the French connection, but like how government is building on that as well, it feels like, and the Year of the Normans coming up as well.
Yes, Year of the Normans is a really important time for us to be able to strengthen our ties with our ancestors, so to speak, because we've got a huge amount of projects that are taking place across all of the areas where the Normans touched over the many centuries ago. And we have a number of projects that are happening in Guernsey that will be celebrating that. Not least a few that Guernsey Arts were organising, but also a lot of other arts organisations on Guernsey are getting involved as well.
And just to bring things to a conclusion, I'll give you 1 minute. Can you make the case for investment or more investment in the arts?
I think today is a great example. We have a huge community of creative people who want to make Guernsey better. And the best way to make Guernsey a vibrant place to live is to have culture and art integrated into the society. This demonstrates not just to us as an island, but also to the outside world, that we aren't just an international finance centre, we are an international cultural and arts centre. We've already had Victor Hugo and Renoir, which is the historical aspect of that. Let's make Guernsey like that now, and we've got what we have already in place to make that a reality.
Rebecca, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Thank you for tuning into this podcast. If you've got all this way, I'm really hoping that you've enjoyed our work. There's a few things you can do though to support us. Follow, like, subscribe, share, whatever you can do to help spread the word of the Quarry. The other thing you can do is head on over to our website, where you can become a member and really support independent local news.